So here, what I'm saying here is, next problem. The following table shows the earnings for the Juras family last year. Use the information to answer the question. So 12 months, how many each month they made, their salary. Now, what was the family's total income from January through June? So January through June, basically we just add all these numbers, right? The same way here, what was the family's total income for the whole year, meaning you add the whole thing. But the one thing I am going to really take out of this problem and show you is 3/20 of the family income is spent on entertainment. That means how much money did they spend for entertainment. So what we need to do is here, you have to total up everything. Okay, and then you multiply 3/20 times the total in order to get this amount. So let me go ahead and first find the total. If you are given this type of problem where you have some data given and you are supposed to answer the question, what you need to do first is you need to add the total. So let me write all the numbers here. So it's going to be 1400. Okay, let's go ahead and add this. So 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 2, 6, 9, 14, 18, 21, 28, 34, 37, 46, 47, 51, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 16, 18, 19, 21, 23, 24, 25. So this is what, $25,150. That's what I got for the. So out of this, 320 of that amount they were using for the entertainment. So it's going to be 3/20 times 25,150. You put a 1. You multiply these two. So you have 0. Okay, you multiply these two and you divide by 20. So when you divide by 20, what do we get? 75,450. And you would divide by 20. So you have 3, 60, 15, 4, 7. So 140. And then you have you take the 5, 7, 140. 5, you take the 0, so you have 2, 40, 10, and then when you add a 0, you put a point, so it's going to be 5. So what we are saying is $3,772.50. That is what they were using for the entertainment. Okay, so this is basically what we have been doing here is multiplying fractions in an applied problem or application situation. Next, let's do division problems in an application setting. So here, this is the problem I wanted to show you. The problem I'm going to work here is problem number 20. It says a box of cereal contains 12 cups. A serving size is 3/4 of a cup. About how many servings are in the box? Okay, so here, so the cereal contains 12 cups. So serving size is 3/4. Okay, that means how many servings are in that cup. In order to find that, we need to divide 12 by 3/4, and I can even put 12/1. That's the placeholder for the missing denominator. Now, in order to divide, like I said, you need to change it to multiplication, and this one needs to be upside down. So you have 4/3 and then 12/1, and then you multiply across the board 48 over 3, which is 16. That means you have 16 servings. Okay, so if you buy this cereal, you can have 16 servings. Then next problem here, again this is going to be a division problem. It says the floor of a rectangular room is to be tiled with 1/3 foot square tiles along 6-foot wall. How many tiles will be needed along the wall? Okay, so the wall is 6-foot wall, and they are putting the tile with 1/3 foot square. So that means how many tiles will be needed along the wall. So here what we need to do is we need to divide. Okay, so basically what are we dividing here? Let me put it. So it's a 6-foot wall, and then this is the tile size. This is the tiles. That means how many tiles we are going to put. So 6 divided by 1/3, right? That means 6 times 3 over 1. Make sure you have this one is upside down, and then 6 over. So we have 18 tiles. Okay, that is how we find the answer. Now next problem, it says a piece of cheese weighing 4/5 pound is to be divided into 10 equal portions. What will be the weight of each portion? So a piece of cheese weighing 4/5 pound is to be divided into 10 equal portions. Okay, now I do not want you to think we always need to put the whole number first and then divide the fraction. It's not working like that. There's no strict rule or anything. The way you look into the problem is what is being divided here. So this is the big picture. This is the big thing, and we are going to chop with 10 different pieces. Okay, so that is how we need to understand. Here, this is the big picture, 6-foot wall. And we are going to chop in the sense putting this 1/3 tile into every places to put it. Chop the 6-foot. But here it's the other way around. This is the cheese, and we are going to make it into 10 pieces. So what we need to do here is, I want you to understand every situation, the divisor. See this one, when you divide, let's see, 4/5 divided by 10. Okay, so how we are going to do this? 4/5 times, this is 1, so 1 over 10, so 4 over 50, right? So when you reduce it, it's going to be 2 over 25. So if you look at this here, what will be we are making 10 equal pieces of this cheese. So what happens, what will be the weight of each portion? What did we find? We found out 2 over 25 pound. Okay, let's do this next 2 story problems. Here it says, an upholsterer wants to reupholster 140 chairs for a banquet hall. If each chair needs 1/7 pound of brass tacks, how many pounds of brass tacks are needed? Okay, so look at here. It's talking about total number of chairs 140. Then each chair needs 1/7 pound of brass tacks. How many pounds of brass tacks are needed? So here what we need to do is, what need to do, 140 times 1 over 7, which is equal to 140 divided by 7, which is 20. So that means 20, look at here. This is the answer here, right here. So 20 pounds of brass tacks are needed. Okay, next one. Jim has traveled 8/9 of his total trip. If the trip is a total of 1071 miles, how many miles has he gone? Okay, this is the total trip. Only he traveled this much. That means how many miles has he gone? Okay, so let's do this calculation here. Okay, totally we have 1071 miles, and he traveled 8/9 of his trip. That means 8/9 times 1071. Remember, I am putting a 1 here. Multiply this. Excuse me. And then I divide by 9. Okay. So 8568. And then let's go ahead and divide by 9. Well, we can have 9. So 81, 4, 6. One, and then bring the 8. So it's going to be 2, 18. So what we are saying is 952 miles he already traveled. Okay. Let's do a couple of more. Okay. Here, refer to the following recipe to first estimate the answer, then use multiplication or division to find the exact answer. Okay. So this is old grandma's fork cookies. So 1½ cup brown sugar, 1½ cup white sugar, 1/4 cup shortening, 1 pinch salt, 3 eggs. So all the recipe is given. Now the question is, based on this recipe, we have a couple of questions. Cream, sugars and shortening beat in remaining ingredients. So they are giving us the recipe and everything. Okay. Now if the recipe is tripled, how much soda will be needed? Okay. Tripled meaning 3 times. If somebody is trying to make 3 times of whatever the recipe says, you need to triple all the size, right, of everything. Now soda, let's look at the soda. This is the 2½ tablespoon soda. If you are 3 times in this recipe, that means you need to multiply by 3. That way you have that much quantity. So you have 2½ times 3. First let's make this into, when you multiply a mixed number and a whole number, first I would make this into a fraction, improper fraction. So 2 times 2, 4, 4 plus 1, 5. So I have a 5/2 times 3. So 5 times 3 is 15, 15/12, which is equal to 7, 1/2, right? So what is the answer here? This is the answer we are looking for, right? Where is the answer? Exact. We want 7, 7½ 7½ is the exact answer. Now the same thing Find the amount of white sugar needed if you take 2.5 times the recipe. So instead of 3 times the recipe, if you are taking 2.5 times of the recipe, how much amount of the white sugar will be needed? So let's go into white sugar. Where is white sugar? Right here. This is the white sugar. In this, according to this problem, you are making 2.5 times recipe. Okay, so this white sugar, I need to multiply by 2.5. Okay, so basically what I'm doing is 1.5 times 2.5. Okay, for the white sugar recipe, white sugar part of the recipe. So this one I will make it to an improper fraction, which is 3/2 times 5/2. Improper fraction by multiplying 1 and 2, 2. 1 times 2, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. So I have a 3/2. 2 times 2, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. So I have 5/2. So this is 15/4. 15/4. So if you are going to make this into a mixed number, this is going to be 3 and 3/4. Oops. Okay, so it's going to be 3 3/4. So that much you need exactly in order for you to get the 2.5 times recipe. Okay. Now, this one, a small company sells stock for $7.25 per share. Okay, $7.25. How much will 64 shares cost? Okay, so this is one stock is this much. How much will 64 shares cost? Okay, so if you write one share is 7/1/4 and then 64 share is how much? That's what we are trying to find out. So we need to multiply 64 times 7/1/4. So what I'm doing here is 7/1/4, make it into a proper fraction, so 29/4, and then you can just multiply these two. When you multiply these two, you get 1856, and then you divide by 4, so you get $464. The same thing I wanted to tell you with a different approach, the same problem. If you're doing like this, 64 times 29/4, instead of multiplying these two, you just put a 1 and then you can cross cancel. I just want you to know 1 times 4 and 16 times 4 is 64. Now you just multiply these two in order to get you will get the same answer. So you could also cross cancel, or you can just multiply across the board, numerator and numerator, and denominator, denominator, and then divide it and reduce it and to get a whole number. Okay.